So I had to do some research on this because I don't know much about Gino's Burgers and Chicken. I had to look into it to know what I'm talking about. Some of the articles I read made it sound like that they're no longer in business anymore, but they are. So we're not going to go into all that history. We're going to go into this part. Kentucky Fried Chicken didn't buy out Gino's. Gino's was a franchisee of Kentucky Fried Chicken, one of the originals, and they were known for selling their burgers alongside of Kentucky Fried Chicken. When they no longer franchised with Kentucky Fried Chicken, Gino started making his own chicken under a different seasoning. Now there are some claims on the Q&A of their restaurant whether they use Kentucky Fried Chicken seasoning or not, and one of the people from the restaurant said we use what we think is the closest thing that we can get to it. And it's important to note that none of the franchisees were actually given the list of the recipe. They were given the pre-mixed bag. The Colonel supplied that. And that's also how it was when Brown and Massey took over. They supplied the seasoning and the mix and the flour and all that stuff to the Kentucky Fried Chicken franchisees. They, as a matter of fact, started phasing out other restaurants franchising Kentucky Fried Chicken out of there, and more so went into just KFC only operating restaurants. Meaning that Gino's and Jack Purtle's and Champs, all those restaurants were no longer, by the time that Brown and Massey sold in 1971 to Hubline, they were no longer franchising under their restaurant's name. They were franchising under Kentucky Fried Chickens, or they weren't franchising at all. There's a very good read on Wikipedia about Gino's that tells you all about them and their history with Kentucky Fried Chicken, and after they left, who they actually did sell to. In 1982, Marriott had acquired Gino's. The last Gino's that was owned independently from Marriott was closed in 1986. You could either Google the Wikipedia page yourself, or you can go to my Twitter, which is linked in my bio, and I have it linked on that page. It's a very good read, a lot of information in there to cover. But, to answer your question, Kentucky Fried Chicken didn't acquire Gino's. Gino's franchised Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then they spun off to their own chicken. Now, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but show me the evidence and where the correct information is. You could do that on Twitter.